Curious, why is Kylie doing what Colourpop should have been did? Oh. That's fixable, but please hold while I transfer your call. I just see some really pink shades. Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. It's your girl, Jaggo. Okay, all right. Okay, I was at a 10. I'm gonna bring it down to a 5. Let's just get straight to it, shall we? You're probably here because you're expecting me to drag Kylie Jenner and her new concealers. Y'all are so shady. So Miss Kylie Jenner and her cosmetics line just recently launched a full spectrum of 30 concealer shades. Quite a lot of people on Twitter were shooketh. I got a lot of requests, and this is normally a brand that, like, I used to use her stuff like when it first came out. Like, her lip products were cute. They weren't revolutionary, but I did like them. And then ever since then, she hasn't really been doing anything worthy of shaking the table. Well, now she said, I got something for you girls. Normally if I don't do the review, but I get enough requests anyway, I will just, you know, go ahead and do it anyway, because if this is what you guys want to see, then this is what you guys want to see. Now, if you don't know, Kylie shares a lab with Colourpop, so they're both manufactured by the same company, which is Seed Beauty. A lot of people are kind of trying to see, like, is it the same as Colourpop? Is she just upcharging for the sake of it? Because this is a $20 concealer. Let me double check. It is $20 and you get 0.11 fluid ounces. So 3.25 grams. My biggest question is I want to know how much this compares to Colourpop's concealer. My instinct is telling me there's no way they're dumb enough to make a $6 concealer and put a $20 price tag on it. Like, there's just no way. So today, that's what I'm curious about. I'm gonna be finding that out for myself, trying the product, giving you a wear test, and then, you know, sharing my thoughts on the brand. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get into the review. But first, subscribe because you love me and I want to see you come back on the next video. So you know what to do. This one here. Yeah. Just find the button and press subscribe, okay? Because we're gonna judge you if you don't. So just for the sake of time, we all busy, we all got lives, we all got stuff to do. I'm gonna do my foundation and priming off camera first. This is the YSL Touche Éclat Blur Primer and the Lancome Teint Idole Ultra Wear Stick Foundation. 500 Suede W gang. Ooh, I got a juicy one right there. You don't pay rent here, you gotta go. So right now, the Tarte Shape Tape is probably one of the most talked about and demanded concealers. So everybody's comparing Tarte Shape Tape to the new Kylie concealers. But the real tea is I want to know if this is the same as Colourpop. Same factory, same da-da-da-da. It doesn't necessarily mean that they aren't made the same, because it is possible that they can tweak some ingredients, you know, here or there, give or take. But we do know for a fact that they do have the capability to be the same. That's just a theory. And so today's test is going to be finding out which one holds up, which one feels better. Do they compare? Are they the same? I wear Deep Golden in the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. I'm pretty good at, like, eyeballing what I feel my highlight shade is. So that is what Deep Golden looks like. Let's compare it to what I think is my highlight shade in the Kylie concealer. It's in the color Almond. So as you can see, pretty close. So here on top, I have Colourpop Deep Golden, and then right underneath, I have Kylie's concealer in the color Almond. Looking at it right off the bat, I do feel as though Almond runs a little red. Let's look at the website description of Almond. So on the website, it calls Almond a rich hazelnut with yellow undertones for deep tones. I don't know if I'm seeing yellow. I'm actually seeing a little bit more pink, but I am gonna try it on, test it out, and see how it goes. I also noticed on Kylie's Instagram swatches, there was like one shade up. The first shade that was like on the deep dark swatch was really light compared to Almond. And I remember a couple people had pointed out, it looks like there's a jump in between Sassafras and Almond. And a couple people had pointed that out, and I thought, you know what, I see, like, I get it, but I don't know, it's kind of hard to say. You got to see it in person. Now that I see it in person, there's like a very obvious jump. This is Sassafras, and this is Almond here. So I feel like I'm somewhere in between here. Almond, I feel, is like a hair too dark to highlight under my eye. I'm gonna give it a shot and see how I like it. Sassafras is just way too light. May have to add a little bit of that in to brighten up Almond, but she looks mad pink too though. To be fair, Sassafras is supposed to have peach undertones according to the website. So anyway, you trying it, Kylie? Let's find out. I'm also gonna be using her concealers as a contour today, so be on the lookout. On this side, we have Colourpop's No Filter Concealer in Deep Golden. This concealer dries very fast, so I'm gonna quickly go right in with Almond from Kylie Cosmetics. Oh, ooh, that smells really strong, almost like a chemical. This is a really good applicator, by the way. kind of similar to the one from Colourpop, but not really. Yeah, kind of similar idea, but the Kylie applicator is a little bit wider, a little bit more fat. So far, the consistency is very thick, almost bouncy. It actually doesn't feel like it's too bad of a formula. Although I'm not at all happy with Colourpop's concealer selections, like their deep dark side, they can definitely add more. I do feel like Deep Golden is probably one of the best matching highlight shades I have for concealers. So not only am I gonna be comparing the formula, but I wish I had a Deep Golden in this line from Kylie. So anyway, let's go out and blend. For a contour shade, I'm gonna take Mocha. This is the third to last color from her concealer line. Just realized the texture of these is a little watery. I do wish it was a little thicker. I did clip my wig back. I don't want to hear no complaints about my edges. Obviously, she's not a natural blonde, so don't come for me. This is a pretty watery concealer. Oh, this is very watery. Oh, wow. Oh, that's fixable, but please hold while I transfer your call. You know, I do love a forehead highlight, so I'm gonna put Almond there as well. This is the NYX brush, by the way. You guys know this is one of my favorite brushes for foundation, and lately I've been using it to blend out contour. But that might not have been the best idea for something so watery, so I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna make it work. I'm gonna keep blending it in. I'm gonna think positive thoughts. But right now I'm feeling like that was too dark of a color and it was a little too watery for me to have done that, but it's fine. So far I'm noticing immediately this does not dry. Oh yeah, definitely not the same as Colourpop. It's not. It doesn't dry as quickly as Colourpop does under the eye. Like I already know I'm gonna have a hard time blending this one because I waited a long time to blend, but you know my technique though, that's what I do. Like the Colourpop concealer, it dries and it sets, girl. And I guess Kylie was giving y'all some dew, some Mountain Dew for that skin, some winter glow. Yeah, as I blend this out, I'm not getting like the vibe that Kylie's concealer dries down super fast at all, actually. It's still pretty movable and blendable after the fact. I don't really know if Kylie's gonna give me what my oily skin needs, just like right off the bat. I feel like it's a little too watery so far. I was just watching another review just now that said that they dry down really fast, but I can definitely tell compared to Colourpop's concealers, it does not do that at all. And the color actually didn't work out too bad. But I do like Deep Golden from Colourpop. I'm just curious, why is Kylie doing what Colourpop should have been did? Is that shade or what? Like, I'm confused. I would like to add a little bit more concealer on both sides, just that's how I am.
Oh, I'm gonna do that anyway. I'm gonna do that anyway because that's how I am.
I'm just really like nitpicky when it comes to concealer. But I was really happy with how Colourpop looked on the first application, whereas Kylie, I felt needed the second, the doubling up, you know? And in case you're curious about whether or not I'm double dipping, I am not. I'm rotating my sponge as I use it, and this was a clean branding sponge. Like I take it right out the packaging right before this tutorial. After reblending both sides, I'm sorry, but the Colourpop concealer kind of does it for me. Very, very interesting. So let's just look at how Kylie compares to other shades that I use, just for reference. Here is Deep Golden from Colourpop. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna put Kylie right on top. This is Almond right on top. This is Shape Tape in the color Deep from Tarte. And this is my all-time favorite concealer because I feel like it just does what every concealer on the planet does in one product. This is the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer in the color Almond. Y'all been making fun of my pronunciations. It's Almond. It's not Almond. Jack, it's Almond. That's French for almond. Almond or whatever. Almond. That's Miss Almond right there. So bear in mind, these are highlight shades. These are obviously not the color of my face. They're meant to like brighten the under eye, right? I just like really analyzing it. I do feel like compared to all of what I use now, Kylie is a little bit pink. And even like looking in the mirror, I do feel like she's a little on the pink side. So I think they were shooting for golden undertone, but I do think this is a little bit more on the peachier rosy side. And so for that, I'm gonna have to dock some points because the description is a little bit, you know, a little off. And God forbid if these oxidize. Honey, you've got a storm coming. With my flower powder from Beauty Bakery, I'm gonna set the under eye. Hopefully, because this powder is more on the yellow side, it will balance out a little bit of that red tint, a little bit of that pinky tint in the concealer. And I was unfortunately born with the infamous Aina hook head, we like to call it in my village. And you know, I'm just feeling like all of this area is just illuminated and protruding more than it needs to be. So I'm gonna really powder this area. Why is my hand doing the most? Remember, I did set my forehead with Kylie's concealers. So, you know, I wish it was a little bit more mattifying. Let's look at the description. Sorry, I probably should have read you the description of the concealer. So it's supposed to be a lightweight formula that provides medium buildable coverage for a skin-like finish. It's long wearing, 30 shades. It gives a luminous finish that looks like your skin and is ideal for all skin types. While I can definitely agree with the skin-like attributes of this concealer as it's advertised, it is definitely pretty skin-like. I don't know if you can call that ideal for all skin types because oily skin might not be happy with the amount of glow that's in this concealer. Like, just for comparison purposes, the Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer isn't matte, and it's also not, it's not as matte as Colourpop's concealer, but it's also not skin-like. It's somewhere in the middle. And I feel like this is the true all skin type concealer. I don't necessarily think the same about Kylie's because I do feel like it's a little oily. It is a little shiny, a little bit shiny, yeah. So I'm gonna do the brows and wrap up the rest of my face and give you more final thoughts on the Kylie concealers. Okay, so I am gonna be doing a wear test and checking in with you guys in a couple hours to see how it all wore and lasted throughout the night. But I do kind of want to give like my final thoughts before I get to that step because I'm really tired. And I already know by the time I get home, I'm not gonna be able to give you the real tea. So let me just wrap this up and get straight to what I wanted to say earlier, okay? So I've already mentioned how I felt about the texture and the finish of the concealer, but I also wanted to note that looking in playback, I actually went back on the camera. I actually went and looked in playback and I felt like the Kylie side of my face was significantly more pink than the Colourpop concealer side. So as far as the color goes, really not my cup of tea. I'm not really a fan of rosy, unless we're talking about blush or highlight, girl. But for my complexion products, I need them to be just more, I just need a little bit more yellow, more gold in my concealer to really make me happy. I hate to keep name dropping Nars, but they recently added some more shades to their Radiant Creamy Concealer line, and they added a shade, let me go get the name of it. I'm sorry, I don't mean to keep comparing everything to Nars Radiant Creamy Concealer, but who am I kidding? Yes, I do. But they have this new shade, and it makes me so happy because it's so freaking yellow. It's in the color Walnut, and look at this, okay? It's almost kind of olive, and here's Almond compared to that. I just kind of feel like across the board, like looking at all these colors, you guys are right. These do look quite red, quite pink, and even namely like these three colors here, this row here, but even all of them leading up to the darkest one, I just see some really pink shades. Ultimately, I do realize that the color is not supposed to be the only thing that you look for on the concealer, but you know, that could make or break for some people, especially because on the description on the website, they say they're golden, and then when you get them and you try them, it's actually not golden. So I think that that's definitely something that you want to be mindful of, that the shade descriptions may not be an accurate depiction of what you actually get in the bottle. I feel like the finish was a little watery for my liking. I do like a creamier, more bouncier texture. At first when I put it on, I thought, okay, this is gonna be kind of nice. This is a little bouncy. And then as I let it dry down and I started blending it out, I felt like it was spreading a little too thin for me. Almost kind of like what Shape Tape would be if you mixed it with Maybelline Fit Me Concealer, which is a pretty watery concealer. And not in a good way. But again, if you are going off of the fact that she does describe it as a skin-like finish, then I guess that's what to expect. I just have skin-like finishes that, in my opinion, look skin-like, but still perform better than that. So that's just my thoughts on that. I am definitely one of those people, one of the many people who are sick and tired of people comparing everything to Fenty, because Fenty, let's be real, you know she loves Fenty. Fenty wasn't the first, and she definitely won't be the last. So let's just get that out the way. But sometimes it really does apply. Like sometimes low key, it really does apply. At first, when I saw Kylie's whole launch or whatever, I was ready to give her a chance. And I was like, okay, well, you know, it's never a bad thing to expand your line. It's never going to be a bad thing to have a full, this is what Kylie is supposed to be doing. But for some reason, as a consumer, I feel like when I say these things, people think that I don't have the right to still be critical because I'm supposed to just give her a Nobel Peace Prize. But yeah, like I think that she definitely did that. I think she definitely started off on the right foot, but low key, I kind of can't help but feel like this moment feels like she was trying to one up Fenty a little bit. Like I am kind of feeling like, and let's not act like Kylie's not known for like stealing inspo from other people. Like that whole blowout she had with Vlada, like what, that was like less than 2 years ago. She literally stole and copied imagery from a not as well-known artist, but someone who's very poppin'. So my question was like, how long did she think she was gonna get away with that? Because like Vlada's kind of a big deal. Vlada, I believe, did sue her. Yeah, she was sued by Vlada. She stole some imagery, was like inspired by her imagery and used it. Kylie had used it for her lip campaigns when she first came out. So I say all of that to say I wouldn't put it past her, you know what I mean, to steal and to try to be like, oh, I'm doing it too. Because her brand is, Kylie's brand is cute, but let's be real, like I've never really got the vibe that she was a trendsetter. I feel like she's doing what everyone else is doing, not necessarily in a good way. Even down to like her imagery for the brand, like this is the sleeve that the concealer box comes in. I saw some side-by-side comparison of like Fenty's imagery compared to Kylie's imagery for her concealers, and I was like, ooh, when you look at it that way, I don't know, sis, it's not looking too good for you. And one thing that a lot of people do not realize is that Kylie's brand has no middleman, okay? She is manufactured by Seed Beauty, which is located here in Southern California. One country that screams out to me the most is Italy. So Italy, a lot of brands, like the higher end brands, most of them go to the factories that are in Italy because Italy is like known to make the best foundations, the best complexion products. They just have the technology, the resources, da 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 da. And it's kind of like, if it ain't broke, don't try to fix. Why try to fix it? You know, like if that's what they're using, then that's what I'm gonna use too. You know. But with that said, if you're a US-based brand, ain't nobody got the time to be going to Italy like tomorrow night. Can we meet for lunch in Milan? How about that? So Kylie has no middleman. She has the resources and the means to go straight to her factory where they literally only manufacture those two brands, unless they're doing something else that I don't know of. I don't know. But from what I know, Seed Beauty manufactures Colourpop and Kylie. So her turnaround times for stuff are way quicker than a factory that's mass producing hundreds of other brands at the same time. So with that being said, it is very much so possible. Whereas Huda's brand, for example, Huda's foundations, for example, I'm sure probably took upwards of like a year minimum to maybe even 2 years to produce and manufacture and get them, you know, from the concept up until where they are now in stores. I don't know this is factual. This is just from what I know about Seed Beauty and how I know their turnaround times are very quick. I've actually at one point spoken to them about how they manufacture products very briefly, but it is very much so possible that, I mean, Fenty just launched in like what, August, September. It is very much so kind of possible that she saw that and was like, whatever they're doing, we gotta do it too. And was able to get her products up and running way quicker than a brand who would have to do it in like, you know, a year and a half, 2 year turnaround time because they don't manufacture their own products. So anyway, I just wanted to serve some tea on this wonderful evening. That's just me speculating. I could be wrong. Like I said, I don't know, but I wouldn't put it past her because she has kind of given herself a reputation of not really doing her own thing. I'm also very curious to know with Kylie's like outreach and like her social media. I mean, you went out of your way to make all of these beautiful bottom row of darker colors, but I didn't see a single person on YouTube outside of Shayla. Miss Shayla, hey girl, how you doing? I don't see any bloggers reviewing these products. I mean, I'm not on her PR list, and I'm most certainly not the only black beauty guru out there, but I'm just saying, why did you go out of your way to make all of those shades and you didn't bother to send them to anybody to review? I mean, I would think that if you're gonna create the product, you're also going to probably take them all, you're probably also gonna take a more holistic approach to expanding your brand, right? I wanna see some reviews from some chocolate girls. I just wanna know, where are they? I went on her Instagram as recent as today, and I looked at all of the pictures that she's posted since this launch, and the only pictures that I see of anyone darker than tan was the day that the concealers were announced, the launch day. So you have 2 swatch models here. These were pictures of the models that she used on her shoot. So this was on December 7th. Okay, so like a week ago, whatever. But just scrolling and scrolling and scrolling, I'm looking for, it doesn't make any sense to me. Maybe people aren't getting their, maybe people aren't receiving their concealers yet. I don't know. Maybe she did send them to some more chocolate girls and guys that could have reviewed them. I don't know. But I kind of feel like you did all that work for nothing by making all those dark colors and then not bothering to send them to any dark skinned vloggers who could have reviewed them. I'm just saying. You could have even sent them to some Asian dark skin vloggers like Farah, you know, Farah Dukai. Like I said, it kind of feels like taking 2 steps forward to go 3 back. And like I said, it's never a bad thing. It's never a bad thing to have an extensive shade range like that. But you know, for me, when I'm spending my shmoney on a brand, I want to know, you know, I look at different angles. I look at everything. Ethics is important to me, and I just kind of feel like, you know, everybody has their standards. These are just mine. It's not a big deal. I know that people don't like when I have the conversations that I have about the beauty community, and that's fine. I know I'm not for everyone. This is definitely not to take away from her accomplishments. Miss Kylie, you're doing your thing, thizzle. But those are just my thoughts. All in all, so far, aside from the comments that I made about the texture, the finish, the color of the concealer, so far it's feeling like a pass for me. But I am gonna do a wear test and give you guys, just see how it holds up throughout the night. I am gonna be fair, regardless of what you guys think. I know a lot of you guys think I just turn on my camera and just talk crap. I don't. I do try to be as fair as I possibly can. Like, I am able to remove the person from the art. I know a lot of people don't believe that, but I do, believe it or not. I do think it looks good. I'm just not seeing anything revolutionary. Yeah, when I realized there was like no darker skin reviews, I was kind of like, well, wait a minute. So you don't think we review makeup too? And please don't make this into a big whole, like, you're just mad because you didn't get them, Jackie. Like, I don't care about getting free makeup. I can buy makeup. I buy a lot of makeup. I spend a lot of money on makeup. I care about getting the product quick. I want to be one of the first to get the product so I can get the review out. Because let's be real, you guys all know how big of a fuss and a fight it is about who's gonna get the first review up for the product. So it's not so much about, it's not even so much about getting the product sent to me. I would have loved to have seen any other dark skin vlogger, male or female, you know, sent this product to be able to give the review on it. I'm going to wear these for a couple hours, come back, check in. Anyway, I gotta go. I'll see you guys in a bit. I have my flashlight on my phone so you can see the state of my what my face is right now. It is almost 5 a.m. Here, let me lock my phone so you can see. It is almost 5 a.m. Say hi, Chocolate Daddy. Oh, that little cheesy smirk. I just can't be bothered to go back to my computer because I'm so tired. I'm exhausted. Can you believe this is my first time watching a Star Wars movie, like, ever? Like, this is the first time I've ever seen a Star Wars movie. Don't judge me. Moving forward. My face is like bowling ball shiny, like not like a healthy glow. You know, I don't mind a little bit of a skin-like finish. Kylie's concealers, while they were cute, I personally wouldn't buy them for multiple different reasons. The finish is just not really giving me something, like, especially on my forehead. Remember, I contoured and I highlighted with the concealer. It's not bad, but it's not the worst either. If you do like her stuff and if you have access to it, then I would recommend her products. I'm gonna go back to not using her products just because no one really asks for them. But since people asked for this, I figured I would give my 2 cents, and there it is. Would I buy the Kylie concealers? I personally wouldn't. So there's that. Well, here's what it looks like in normal light. Do you see that revolving sunset I have around my forehead? Well, I always have that because the shape of my head, but I'm really shiny. Like, I'm oil slick. The Colourpop side is slightly less oily, but remember, I also contoured. So you definitely probably see some shine coming through from that contour, because I contour all the way into my concealer. I'm just looking extra deep fried. I'm gonna be even more mad if I wake up with more pimples in the morning. You can cash me at Colourpop headquarters. That's where you can catch me. If I end up breaking out, you can catch me at Colourpop headquarters, Kylie, okay? How about that? Oh, and I guess we've solved the burning mystery as to whether or not Kylie's concealers are the same as Colourpop. And the question is, they're definitely not. If I don't see you guys by Christmas, I just wanted to wish everyone a Merry Christmas and a happy whatever it is that you celebrate. I'm so grateful just to have this channel's continuous growth, continuous impact, reach, all of the above. I love you guys so much and thank you for the continued support, and I hope to see you on my next tutorial, which I conveniently put right here. I just put right here. I don't know how it got there, but it's there, so you might as well watch it. I mean, it's right there.